Hi everyone, I'm Zoe with True Crime Stories. Real crime, real people, and real horror. This episode's gonna be on the Christmas Day Massacre. Christmas is meant to be a day of warmth, joy, and family. But on December 25th, 1929, a quiet North Carolina farm became the scene of one of the most shocking and heartbreaking crimes in American history. When a husband and father, Charlie Lawson, murdered his wife and children before taking his own life. The Lawson family lived a simple life in Germantown, North Carolina. Charlie Lawson, a hard-working tobacco farmer, his wife Fanny, devoted and loving, their children Marie, Arthur, Carrie, Maybelle, James, Raymond, and baby Mary Lou. A large family surviving the late 1920s, the best they could. Weeks before Christmas, Charlie did something unusual. He purchased expensive clothes and arranged professional family portrait. For a poor farm family, this was almost unheard of. Many now believe this was in his way of creating a final image before destroying everything. On the morning of December 25th, 1929, Christmas joy turned into a horror. Charlie Lawson murdered members of his family one by one. By the time neighbors reached the farm after hearing gunshots and screams, it was too late. Charlie walked into the woods and ended his own life. A day meant for celebration became a tragedy. The community was devastated. Questions spread. Why would a father destroy everything he loved? What would drive someone to commit something so horrifying? And worst of all, there were no clear answers. Only one child survived, Arthur Lawson, because Charlie had sent him away that morning on an errand. Arthur returned home to find his entire family gone. He carried that pain forever, never speaking publicly much about it, and tragically died himself in a car accident years later. The Lawson family tragedy remains one of the darkest Christmas stories ever told, one filled with heartbreaking unanswered questions, and a silence that still echoes throughout history. Investigators and locals desperately wanted to understand why the massacre happened. Some pointed stress, financial pressures, and the overwhelming burden of trying to provide. Others believed Charlie was mentally unrevealing. In the months leading up to Christmas, earlier that year, Charlie reportedly suffered a serious head injury. Some believe this may have caused brain damage or violent emotional changes. However, doctors of that time couldn't prove this. The leaving theory forever debated. Over the years, whispered rumors spread, including disturbing allegations about possible abuse and tension within the home. Some claimed Marie confined to friends that something terrible was happening inside the family. Whether truth or rumor, the idea that the darkness lived inside the Lawson house became a part of the tragedy's legacy. Arthur Lawson lived with grief no one could fully understand. He lost nearly everything in one day. He was young, heartbroken, and expected to move forward in the world that suddenly felt colder. Though he tried to build a life of his own, the weight of the tragedy never left him. For a time, the Lawson farmhouse became a gruesome attraction. People paid to walk through the home where the murdering happened. Items were left exactly as they were. Christmas decorations still hanging. What some saw as history, others saw taking advantage of the tragedy. Over time, the tragedy became part of the Southern Folklore. Songs were written, ghost stories began. The Lawson family became more than names in a newspaper. They became a haunting reminder of how fragile life can be. We may never know exactly what drove Charlie Lawson to murder his family, whether it was a mental illness, emotional collapse, or something darker. No explanation will ever make sense of the pain left behind. Thank you for listening. If this story moved you, disturbed you, or made you think, that means these voices and stories are still being heard. Make sure to follow and like and share. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, not every monster hides in the shadows. Sometimes they hide behind a smile.